Welcome to Mennie Talks podcast, talking all business, entrepreneurship, property development, finance and investment. So Reece Mennie here, host of Mennie Talks podcast. We're back with season 4. As I've said, we've got some exciting guests lined up for season 4. This is episode 1. It's going to be one of the biggest podcasts guests that we're going to bring on, in my opinion. It's great to welcome Conor Benn. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, it's my pleasure, mate.
So really looking forward to going through a series of questions with Conor. Everybody who watches and listens to this podcast would know who Conor Benn is and definitely know the Benn name in the boxing industry. We're here sitting in a boxing gym. What's it like holding the name?
Yeah, it's a blessing, man.
Is it pressure?
Yeah, but pressure makes diamonds. I think to achieve anything in life, you have to go through some sort of pressure. The name's been a blessing and a curse, depending on how you choose to look at it. And for me, it's definitely been more a blessing. You know, it comes with the criticism. It comes with the naysayers, come with it, with the doubters. Comes with you being put on a platform to be criticised. But ultimately, it's opened doors that not many men can open. Yeah. And my dad's opened them doors for me. So, you know, it'd be a big disrespect to say the reason my dad worked hard for the doors that have opened would be anything but a blessing.
And just we go back to talking about the criticisms and stuff that comes with being in the public spotlight. But let's just go back to when you was young and obviously watching your dad growing up, being a boxer. When was it that you realised that that's what you wanted to do?
There wasn't ever really a moment.
No?
To be honest, no, there wasn't really a moment. It was, I think up until my 14th, 15th pro fight, I still thought I was going to go back to doing my day job, which was painting and decorating, which is mental. Because...
Why did you think that?
Because I didn't think I'd be good enough.
Okay.
You just got to say how it is. You know, you can work as hard as you want to work. You can convince yourself and believe in lies. You can try and convince yourself that you're going to be this and be that. I never said I was going to be this and be that, but I knew if I worked hard, I could achieve as long as I reached my full potential. For me, that was all that mattered. Let me just see how far I can go and make sure I do everything I can to reach wherever that is. Did I think it'd be where I am now? No. But I think it's just, you know, you go through life and you may be sitting there in anyone's sphere, you may be sitting there going, well, how have I ended up here? I didn't plan on ending up here, but the right doors open and you walk through them, or you take the risk, you take the jump. And I think that speaks for everybody in whatever line of work it is.
The doubt, when you said, you know, you was a pro, you was going through the ranks, but you still doubted yourself. How did you overcome that doubt? What was it? What was did you have a process? Did you speak to people? Was there an influence there that sort of said, look, stop that doubt. Let's get going?
I wouldn't say it was there was doubt. I didn't know how far I could go. Me walking out into the stadium for me, or me walking out into an arena for me, was an accomplishment in itself. You know, and
big buzz as well, right?
Yeah, massive. You go in, my debut was in front of 20,000 people. That for me on its own was an accomplishment.
How did that feel?
Yeah, nervous. Yeah, I shit myself.
How long did it take to get them nerves out? As soon as the bell went, or
no, the whole way through. For my first fight, my whole way through. I thought, please don't get knocked out loud on TV. So please don't. I said, do you know what I mean? But the reality is, I've never done it before. So there's, you know, how do you know if you can convince yourself in saying that can't happen in a million years? And then, you know, sometimes it just happens.
You can. Especially in boxing, right?
But for me, it was, for a long time, I can't say I doubted myself. I believed in my hard work. I believed in work ethic. I believe in talent. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. I was a strong believer in that, and still am. Especially in the sport of boxing, where sometimes if you got a big heart, pair of balls, it'll take you a very long way. Yeah. And I knew I had them minerals. It was the technique, it was the talent side of things that I thought I would have to really work on, and I applied myself to get to where I am now. But I didn't know how far I could go. But I wouldn't say it was doubt. It was just, I'll end up where I end up. Yeah. And whatever level that is, I know I've done my best.
Where do you think you will end up?
Definitely world champion early next year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's a mindset.
See, now you're talking to someone completely different. To a kid who turned pro at 19.
Yeah.
I believe I am the WBC champion out right now. So that's, you go through a transition. I was a 19-year-old boy, left my family in Australia, come here to pursue a dream.
And just to go back to that, let's go back to when you left to come here.
Yeah. So
what was that like?
So 17 to 18, I had all my amateur bouts, which were about 23 in a year, 22, 23 in a year. And then I didn't fight from 18 to 19. Then 19, I moved to the UK and turned professional. And I didn't plan on going professional, but we come down the gym. This is what I mean by doors open. I come down to the Matchroom gym with Tony Sims. And they said, "Oh, do you want to do some sparring?" I was like, "Yeah, all right." I managed to never put anyone down before in my life up to this stage, put down a hot prospect.
Don't want to name him?
No, not at all, because it's boxing. Listen,
I know.
It happens
Yeah,
in boxing. You get chinned, I mean, I've not been chinned yet. No doubt that day will come, you play with fire, you get burnt. Go swimming, you get wet, you know how it goes. And then from then, Tony was like, "I'm taking you to meet Eddie." Went to go meet Eddie. Eddie was like, "Want you on the next AJ show," and that was it.
That was it.
You remember, I had a box for a year and a few months.
So it was Tony, obviously, he took you from the start right the way through.
If you want to look at a trainer and look at what good, not train, a coach, you want to look at a coach and what a good coach is, look at my career. Because he didn't only get me from scratch, he got me installed with bad habits already that he needed to undo and, redo. I am a product of the Sims camp.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, of course I am. It's very rare that you take a fighter from a raw novice who wasn't tipped to do anything. I mean, you can't say I was any good. I had a bit of explosivity about me when I was 19. I had aggression, I could punch. But you don't take that kid to then headline Tottenham Stadium, jumping up 2 weight divisions and, having a fight a decade off of nothing. We've had to both really work together. Tony was putting work in. You're talking early on in my career for 4 or 5 granders, getting a cut out of that. Do you know what I mean? But putting in work into me every single day in, day out, graveyard shifts. I would be where I am today without Tony. And the way he trains us, the way he's not just the trainer. Don't just hold the pads. He's on you. He's there. He's watching you. He's there. He's so invested in his fighters, which is why they've all minimum reached British level.
And that's a credit to what he does. Skipping forward, obviously we're talking about we've gone straight to that point about having the right people around you. I'm a big believer in business. We was talking off camera just a moment ago that it's about a team. I see something that when you was in camp reading that everybody does the same. Obviously, it's you that's doing the hardest work. But if you're having your phone turned off at 8 o'clock at night, the whole team's having their phone turned off at 8 o'clock at night.
We're all like
in sync.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my camp's pretty perfect. My team that I have now are pretty perfect. I mean, I can't really fault them. I literally don't have to do anything. And I'm talking day-to-day life, out of camp, I'm talking in camp. They allow me to be the best version of myself I can be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But me being the best version of myself I can be means everybody gets the best. And I feel like that's so important. When you got fighters these days who are running around doing this, gallivanting, selling tickets, or trying, I get it's hard. It takes away from you.
Yeah.
And although you say it don't, although you say, "Oh, I don't need that extra 30-minute nap," you do. And I feel like to be, the top 1% or to be the best version of you can be, you need to prioritize recovery. You need to prioritize focusing all your energy on being the best fighter you can be. That should be your only job.
Yeah. But obviously for you, you're at that level.
But even before.
Yeah, okay.
No. Even before. Up until my fight I had where I got put down, I was gallivanting, I was up Selfridges, I was up west, I was shopping, I was doing all the madness you do when you're young and in a bit of money. And then after that fight, I was like, I really need to sort this out. Stop gallivanting, prioritize recovery, naps, after every training session, go to bed early, wake up early. Nutrition was on point. So I started then to take the steps in order to be the best version of me possible.
And that's what you need to do. And if there's youngsters coming through, that's what your advice would be to them?
Oh, 100,000,000%. See the fighters coming through now. See if you have some sort of work ethic.
Yeah.
Some sort of ambition. You're going to kill it.
That's the same for everything. I know we're talking about boxing, any industry, and that is a bomb there, straight from Conor. At the end of the day, it's about work ethic. You have to put in, if not, you're not going to get back out, right?
I find that anything to do with success requires the same sort of minerals, morals, the same sort of work ethic, determination, grit, resilience. You have to have all of that, because in any line of work, it's not going to be easy to be successful. Otherwise, everyone would be successful if it was easy. So it really does come down to the steps in order that you take to get there. Work ethic, discipline. If you have some sort of work ethic, discipline, and resilience, you can do anything you want to do. Because you see, the youth of today are so entitled. They want it easy. They want it now. It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be now. So if you have some sort of work ethic, ambition, resilience, drive, determination,
that's what you need.
Yeah, you'll be successful.
And just looking at it, you've got little ones. I've seen them with their gloves on. Can we see the third generation coming through? Do you think, or does it not work like that?
I don't know, because I look at me, and I think I had a very blessed, privileged upbringing. I mean, I didn't know no hardship. I had a great life. For me, my life was pretty perfect, to be honest. And
if they come to you and said, "Dad, I want to box,"
but I let them know how hard it is.
Yeah,
my dad didn't quite tell me how hard it was, but then also I built for it. I love it. I love this game. I love fighting. I love the adrenaline. I love the doubt in yourself. I love when you're getting closer to fight now, you start thinking, "Oh, what if?" I love that. I love having to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself to sort yourself out. I love having to just really tell yourself in your head, I do this every day.
Yeah.
You have to really, you find yourself, who you are as a man. See and here, you find yourself, you find out who you really are.
Yeah.
What sort of person you are, what sort of minerals you're made of. And that's how, I love that. I love that challenge. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. So if my son has that in him, then, spin, go do your thing, son.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And you'll be there to support.
I support my son in anything he wants to do. I would support my son in anything he chooses to do, but do I want him to fight? Probably not. Would I like to carry on the Benn name in British boxing? Of course, but I'm going to do that in other ways. I would like to go into management. Eventually, that's something I'm definitely interested in going into. And still keep the Benn name alive. In other ways, if my son chooses not to box.
Yeah. Obviously, you're from Ilford. Does that area still mean something from you growing up around there? Or?
I left England when I was 4. So the only family that I had in Ilford was all my dad's family in Ilford. But I left England when I was 4 years old, so I don't really remember much of the UK. Went to Spain, lived there for 12 years, moved to Sydney, lived there for 4 years. And it was only when I came back to England that I sort of saw my whole family, my distant family that I hadn't known growing up, really.
Yeah. So if opportunities or anything come up in and around that area for you to get involved in local
of course
stuff,
I would, yeah.
You'd get involved.
100%, yeah, definitely.
Is it just that area or anywhere in particular that you would home in on if looking for the right opportunity, whether that be in the boxing industry, property we spoke about, giving back, whatever it is?
Or pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not really down to a location. It's not really down to a location. I've travelled up north to help out.
Yeah.
It isn't really a location, wherever I can help out.
It's important for you to help young people, you inspire to do that.
Of course.
As much as you can.
But they're the next generation coming through.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're the ones coming through. Like, at least give them a good role model. Give them a bit of advice. Some people are, in today's world with social media, I can only imagine how hard life must be, or to navigate your way through decisions or navigating your way through who you are.
Social media is a funny place, right?
It's a killer. And I say that I'm good, I'm sweet now, but I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
When you're talking about kids who are, 9 through to 17, 18, 19, 20, so easily influenced.
Mm.
Yeah, on my social media, I don't know what you see on yours, but when you got men going around going, 20 grand, if you're not earning 20 grand a month, are you really a man? And I'm sitting there going, mate,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But then you've got kids who think that's just the
normal.
standard.
Yeah,
You got kids thinking that's normal. So I'm sitting there going, well, so you're telling me these kids who see that sitting there thinking to themselves, we're not men if we're not earning this amount of money. But that's
right.
Yeah, but that's not that. It's not the case
Definitely
at all.
not the case.
But that's just how toxic masculinity. How kids are just getting programmed to think this is the way we should act. This is the way men should act. And it's not the way we should act at all.
And some of them people are not earning that themselves, but they're saying it on social media.
But it's believable. Well, it's believable, not to me, but the kids.
Yeah.
So you've got kids growing up, and I dread it for my son. In the world that he's going to grow up in, and trying to navigate himself through life on its own is hard, let alone with the pressures of social media.
Yeah. If you weren't a boxer, what other professional sport would you have picked?
I don't watch sport.
No, so only
I don't watch sport. I just about watch boxing. I don't watch sport. I'm being serious. I don't follow sport, but if I weren't boxing or I weren't doing what I do today, I would probably go. I enjoyed all the jobs I've done, which I've worked in retail, which was horrific. Horrific. And then I've done scaffolding, warehouse work. Out of all the jobs I've done, painting and decorating was probably my favourite.
What you enjoyed the most?
I actually enjoyed it. Yeah.
How comes?
I just found it therapeutic.
Yeah.
So I would try and cut the comb in and do the skirting without tape. So I'd try and really challenge myself to try and get in there without touching the ceiling or the wall. And I did love rolling the ceilings. I love doing the hard jobs. So I'd roll the ceilings in like these big houses and get a workout from it. But I just remember I really enjoyed it. Found it therapeutic, to be honest.
Interesting. Yeah. So no football, not interested in football. Don't follow a football team.
West Ham.
West Ham. Favourite football player in general, if you had to pick one?
Couldn't tell you.
It's hard.
I couldn't tell you. I speak to Declan Rice, probably Declan Rice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
West Ham, you've got that.
Yeah.
Did you go to watch West Ham?
I was speaking to David Sullivan today, actually.
Okay.
Going to go watch the game on the 9th of August, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, first one back. So, yeah, going to go watch that.
Going back to boxing, obviously it's brutal. Putting yourself in the ring, punching other people, taking punches.
I find peace in that. You said brutal, I find peace.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
How important is it for your mental health? Boxing.
Punching someone else's head in?
Yeah. Right, how do you get out? It keeps you sharp, you're under pressure. Does it get you anything? Does it help your mental health? Does it help? Does it help people's mental health?
Definitely. Yeah, I find it's whatever you find peace in. Some people walking through a boxing gym will give them an anxiety attack. So it all depends on the individual. Some people walk in the gym and fall in love straight away. Mine was a growing relationship. I remember I used to say to my dad, why do you still train like a lunatic now, like 60? Like, it just don't make sense to me. 55 at the time. And he's going to say, I need it for my mental health. I'm like, mate, when I'm retired, I am going to just not even think about training. Plot up on a beach somewhere, have a cigar in my hand, glass of tequila in the other, and relax. Whereas now, as I've got older, I actually need training for my mental health. I actually need stability. I need routine. I need structure. And the more people I've spoken to, most people are the same. They need routine, they need structure, they need stability in their life. And boxing gives me all of that.
Gives you all of that.
Boxing gives me all of that, definitely. And when I first turned professional, I used to really struggle out of camp. It was like I was sort of slipping into oblivion, into just no free net, no safety net, just free falling. And it took me maybe 6 years to sort of, yeah, 5, 6 years to sort of understand how I work and what's good for Conor.
Yeah, daily habits that keep you grounded in your routine. What are
5K every morning, training first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Um,
Train every morning?
Well, I haven't trained this morning because I've come here and sit down and chat with you instead, but that'll do.
That's training.
But for the first time in my whole career, I've actually not trained that much for the past 3 weeks.
When you say morning,
yeah,
what is morning to you?
7 a.m.
7 a.m.
Yeah, when Eli comes and runs in and wakes me up.
But it's time to go.
Having kids change that. They're your reasons why. They're like they take up your time. Yeah, they take up your time. They give you a direction and focus as well.
So just going back to obviously we touched on, you said about the fight that you had with Eubank. There was talks that because of the weight difference, there was extra compensation put in place. How did that affect and your view versus risk versus reward in that instance? Obviously, there's a lot of talk that was it dangerous because of the differences. Obviously, it's risk versus reward, right?
It's dangerous for both.
Yeah.
So it just depends on whose side of the fence you were sitting on. Because the only thing that affected him was the rehydration, which the only thing that affected him could have affected him would have been the rehydration.
Yeah.
But his team told us that, he doesn't put on more than £10. So, okay, well, then there you go, £10 the limit.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I'm a 147 fighter. You can see I'm not no 160 pound fighter. Let alone going up. I've walked in the ring. I weighed in at like 157. I was underweight. But we both take risks. You want to take risk and find a welterweight? I'll take risk and find a bigger guy. Let's meet a common ground, and we'll have it out. But there are pros and cons to both of us having to make the weight. It all just depends on who does it better.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it better because he's unprofessional and it cost him 500 grand. So
is the hatred there?
I still think he's an idiot. Yeah, for sure. I'll always think he's an idiot.
It is a real thing.
Yeah.
So outside of boxing, do you invest in other areas? Property, crypto?
Property, I don't really dabble in crypto. I have short-term investments, interest, recurring accounts.
Yeah.
I don't really property. I don't really dip into crypto. I don't really understand it. So I probably I get punched in the face with my money. Do you know what I mean? So when you feel like you got to check the stocks every 2 minutes, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I just invest money here and there into a few things that do come up. I do think investing your money is important. I think a lot of fighters don't.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you stop boxing tomorrow, for argument's sake,
I can live. I can retire. I could retire end of the year.
You're set up for that.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's not just in the sports industry, across the board. People need to look at when they come to retirement, what they've got in place.
Yeah, it comes sooner than you think.
Yeah.
It comes sooner than you think. I don't know how long left I've got in the game, but in boxing, you've got to take each fight as it could be your last fight. For me, I have safety nets as well, which I believe in, because you don't know if you're going to get injured. You don't know, so I don't never live up to date.
Yeah.
Never just live up to next month. Never live month to month.
Yeah.
I give myself a 2-year buffer where I'm like, and I'm good.
And how did you learn that yourself? Or was that through?
I think it was my mum. Maybe my mum told me. I sort of had then I had gold bars, then I had money tied up in this, then I had money tied up in my property, then I had money tied up in watches. There was like a list of things where I know I've got money sitting there.
Yeah. So you know that it's safe.
So I know it's safe. So I'm not spending it. Yeah, so I'm not spending it, but it's also not in my bank account.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like.
Has that helped you take parts of that money away and put it somewhere so you can't see it stops you when you're in your go back to.
I don't have access to my main bank account.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather,
I'm just trying to not really establishing it for you. Trying to look at people coming through and advice for them would be earn your
parent.
money.
I would say whoever it is you trust.
Yeah.
And you know who that person is. Trust that person.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, that's my mum and my dad. I take their advice. I have a good team around me of people that I trust, and you know, I trust to the core, who have really helped me out throughout my career and not asked for a single penny. And those are the people now reaping rewards, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got for the first 4 years, a close person to me negotiated everything for me, who will now be part of like the management team. Negotiated everything for me for free. 4 years.
Wow.
Top lawyer. And I always used to say to him, like, yeah, the day will come where like I look after you, don't worry. Like, just I like just but obviously
Now he reminds you of it.
No. I went, I'm gonna give you a percentage of my commercials.
Yeah.
For the first couple of years. And then I went, you know what, we made it. I'm gonna give you a percentage of fight purses and commercials. Okay. So now he's laughing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, but if you didn't have that faith in me when I first turned professional and helped me get to where I am now, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. So
do you know what I mean? But so people like that I trust.
You need them people.
Yeah. So where do you think I should put this money? Where should I invest this money? Do you know what I mean? I leave the money with private bankers who also invest. You know, they return 6 to 12% minimum interest yearly. So it's my money's always got to be making money. I don't like my money just sitting there stale.
Yeah. Have you made a bad investment?
What
you'd class as a bad investment?
Yeah, my Rolls Royce. Not the one I just bought, the other one. That was the worst. That was the worst bit of
business.
Oh, it hurt me.
How come?
Because I had it for maybe a couple months, 3 months. And I lost 50 grand on it.
What did you learn from that?
Don't buy a Rolls Royce with a body kit on it. Buy a Rolls Royce, just not with a body kit on it.
Okay.
No, I'll probably say made a lot of money on watches. I love watches.
Yeah.
You know, the watch market was doing craziness, talking hundreds of thousands in watches. Any opportunity that comes to me, I'll always try and see if there's any opportunity in it. But I'm not really risk averse when it comes down to money. So you say how many mistakes if I make? I bought numerous properties. I'll probably say I'm all right with my money.
Yeah. Seemed like you got your head screwed on compared to some people.
Yeah, I see some fighters. I'm just like, how have you got that?
Mm.
Like how'd
you get that?
Obviously I know how you get it, but how can you warrant that? Because I can't warrant that, and I know what shoes I'm sitting in right now, but I just can't. I don't see how you can warrant living like that or spending like that. You know, I don't touch my main pot of money. I don't touch my fight purse money. I'll have things come up here and there, or the interest of this.
Passive income, right?
Yeah, or things that I've constantly had things coming up, or investments that I've forgotten about come in. I live off that. Yeah. The fight pot can just stay there. I don't want to touch.
To make your money.
Yeah. That's making 3%.
That's right.
Sitting there.
So let's just go into some questions. We've sort of come into the end. It's been great to catch up and go through some stuff with you.
I'm actually having a good chat, mate. Shame we're coming to an end.
Well, we can carry on. It's not a problem. AJ or Fury?
What?
Well, who would win if the fight happens?
I mean,
We'll put you under a bit of pressure.
it's a bit of an hard one, really.
Well, first of all, do you think the fight will happen?
It can't not. It'd seriously be so disrespectful to everybody. Everybody.
If it didn't happen.
That fight did not happen.
I know there's a few people in here that would definitely say AJ, just watching us, but
it's a hard one.
I want to push you for an answer.
It's a hard one. I mean, I don't really want to sit on the fence either. But I'm going to sit on the fence.
Come on, you've got to give me an answer.
So I think so. I think Fury's style could be all wrong for AJ. I think Fury's style could be all wrong for AJ. But then you can never write AJ off
because of the punch power
and the athleticism. And I think now it's just got to a stage who's got what left.
Mm.
Do you know
Who
what
does
I
it
mean?
mean more to?
Yeah, because if you'd put a young, no, it's still the same situation. If you'd put a young Fury and a young AJ in, still same sort of.
Who do you think it would mean more to out of the two of them?
Probably AJ. I think it'd mean more to AJ.
Yeah.
I think it'd mean more to AJ, but I feel like I just feel like I don't think you can ever write Fury off. Do you know what I mean? But it depends on what Fury turns up as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, so it is.
It's a tough one.
So yes, I'm sitting there and I'm just going, who would I bet on? Probably have to bet on. I'd probably have to put my money on Fury.
Yeah.
Probably.
You heard it first, guys. What's your take on Usyk, the bar?
I think Usyk beats every person on the planet, every heavyweight on the planet.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But I think, listen, you can't write people like Dubois, AJ. You can never write any of them off.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They make boxing exciting. AJ makes boxing exciting because you don't know what you're going to get.
Mm.
You know, is he going to go down and get back up? You know, is it lights out? Is he going to, pull one out of the bag? That makes boxing exciting. People love a bit of vulnerability. People love a little bit of, adversity in the ring. I think Dubois Dubois coming off a good run. I think Dubois could knock him out, but it'd have to be really early or nothing. I think he can hurt Usyk, of course, but I think Usyk is like a computer who sort of downloads data, processes it, and does what he needs to do with it. Yeah. I think it'd be a lot more clued up this time as to what to expect.
Yeah. Okay. What up and coming fighters do you think that's not getting enough media attention right now?
Conor Walker. I won't say he's up and coming because he's there. He's here.
Yeah.
But he's someone I tune in to watch.
Yeah.
I'll always tune in. There's certain fighters I always tune in to watch. Conor Walker's one of them. I like what he does. I like his style. He's very exciting. He's got power. He could be losing every single round of the fight and then just pull it out of the bag. Yeah. And to do something like that, you've got to have no quitting. You've got to have sheer grit, determination, resilience, big pair of balls, big heart, and you still got to have the power and the fitness. He's got all the ingredients there for a great fighter, and I enjoy watching him fight. Otherwise, I don't watch boxing. Yeah. But I like seeing entertaining fights, and he's a fighter I love to watch. And he's my friend as well, by the way. So yeah,
always helps.
Yeah. Big up, Con.
Yeah, good. What's the most misunderstood thing about yourself that if you could tell the public that you'd want the public to understand about yourself?
Fuck what the public think. You know what? I don't even like.
There's a couple of random. These are the last couple of random questions, but
I mean, it's ultimately
people think what they want to think.
What do you think? Go on then. Let's go down and make it the question. What do you think?
What do I think's the most misunderstood thing about yourself? It's a good question.
You're supposed to say you're a nice guy. You know.
I like the way that you come across in the press. I like what you do. I tune in to watch what you do. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you want to hear. But honestly, I think you're good for boxing. I enjoy watching it the same as I enjoy watching Fury. You know, I was talking off camera. I enjoy them things. So I don't know what's misunderstood about yourself. I'm asking you from a personal thing that you see in the press. You think to yourself,
do I come across angry to you?
I wish that they didn't think that.
Do you come across angry?
No, I don't think you come across angry. I think you come across confident.
Yeah.
And you come across that your demeanour is that you're not here to mess around. But I wouldn't say I'm angry.
Yeah, that's probably the only one.
The only one.
I mean, I could be angry if you want.
No,
I'll probably say I'm actually probably the
So what you're saying is you don't like the media.
I
thinking
don't care. I don't care.
All right, you don't.
I mean, you got to remember, I've been called the worst thing over the past 3 years. I don't care if someone thinks I'm angry.
Yeah, fair
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But ultimately, no, I'm probably the least angriest person on the planet.
But they come across. You think they say that you?
Do you know what it is? Is come fight, come anything to do with fight related, or other fighters challenging me, or yes, I am angry.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's either you or me. So you're put in a corner, and it's either you or them. How are you going to react?
You've got to be, haven't you? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's sort of how I am. So it's sort of just flick a switch. If someone challenges me or someone, wants to talk that talk, let's talk that talk then. And let's see if you're really about it. Because if you're about it, let's go, let's run it then. And that's how I am in my head with anything like that. Or I developed such a chip on my shoulder as I was younger, when people say, no, you'll never do this, you'll never do that. That day in, day out, hearing that for me was like, I was trying to process it. I was just a kid trying to do well. I was just a kid trying to be as great as I can be. So when you have people knocking you down day in, day out, when you start to do something, you're like, yeah, what I told all you lot. And you then sort of turn. Because when you watch my interviews, when I was just coming into the game, I was excited. I was like, oh yeah, like I just not this guy. And I was excited. And then you watch it sort of shift throughout my career where it's like, oh, well, fuck all you lot then. I'm doing this and I'm doing it. You ain't doing it, I'm doing it. And I'll prove all you lot wrong. And that was sort of if that was the chip I had to develop to get me to where I am and make me push that extra mile and work that, then so be it. I'll put that chip on there.
Yeah.
Twice on Sundays.
If
that's what gets me going, then that's what gets me going. And I fear losing more than I love winning.
I love that.
And that was.
I love that.
Yeah, that for me was
every just to go back at every interview that I do, I ask that question: do you prefer winning or do you hate losing more?
Yeah, I hate losing.
Hate losing more. That's the answer.
But it's funny though, because when I spoke to a therapist, he was going, "Oh, why don't you just love winning? Like, love winning, it put you in a better frame of mind." I've gone, mate, like, they don't, dude, it's not the same. Like, yeah, we love winning, but I fear losing a lot more than I love winning. Like, winning should just be the standard. The losing is the part that's not acceptable.
Yeah, I agree.
So it really is the way you sort of
see things,
or the way you are, whatever makes you tick. Like, I've met some fighters who ain't got like no like anger about them at all, man. No, like, they're just, and I'm like, I could never work like that.
Yeah.
I thank all the haters. I thank all the doubters. I thank every single one of you. It's the only reason why I was walking out in Tottenham Stadium and just absolutely made a shitload of money.
And enjoyed it.
It's because
Why
of them.
doing it?
Yeah, exactly. And it's because of them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I never would have had that chip on my shoulder that got me out of bed at 3, 4 in the morning. Ever.
And that's what's inspired you.
Probably. When I started doing the 3, 4 a.m. runs was when I felt like I had made it, which was when I was 24. And I bought my first proper house. I had a 911 and a Rolls Royce. And I was like, how do I know if I'm still hungry? Because this is everything I dream of. I've got a beautiful son. I've got a house with a pool in it. And I was like, shit, I might be getting complacent. And I feared getting complacent. And that was when I was like, you know what? I'm going to start running at 3 in the morning. Just to show myself that I still want it. Ever since then, so for what, 4 or 5 years, I've now do that every camp. I'm up, but me and the whole team are up running at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I get the whole team up. All of us are up at 3, 4 in the morning running together as a team. And that's a non-negotiable. But that's just what tells me, yeah, you still want it. Otherwise, they say it's hard getting out of bed in silk pajamas.
Yeah. Last question, and I'm going to throw it over to you. If the UK went to war tomorrow, besides your family, what are the 3 essentials that you'd take with you?
Boxing gloves, gum shield, and boxing boots.
Yeah. So you can still do
it. All of them.
Conor, it's been fantastic having you on. Pleasure to bring us a great episode. Is there anything that we've missed? Is there anything that you would want to add?
No, no, massive thank you to everybody that's supported me to continue to support me. I spoke a lot about the haters there. They got quite a lot of mention.
Yeah.
And not a lot of thank yous to the people that actually supported me through the thick and the thin.
Of course.
I most definitely won't be to where I'm today without them. So, middle finger to the haters and lots of love to my supporters because I won't be here today without you. So thank you.
And we'll see you in the ring again soon.
God willing, September 27th or October 4th.
Lovely. Conor, thanks a lot. That's a wrap for first episode of season 4. Thanks for your support. If you like what you've seen, please comment, subscribe, send to friends. And we look forward to interviewing more guests for yourself. Thank you very much.